If you're broke right now, this is exactly the video you need. I'm not talking about small savings, side hustles that barely cover a bill, or get rich quick nonsense. I'm talking about actionable, practical ways to make money when you literally have nothing, no capital, no network, no fancy tools, just your brain, your hustle, and your willingness to take action. The biggest mistake most people make when they are broke is thinking they need money to make money. That's backwards. You don't need money to start a business. You need skill, effort, and the ability to solve problems that other people already have money for, period. The businesses I'm about to share with you aren't flashy. They won't make you passive income overnight. They won't require $1 million brand or expensive software. But here's the truth. These are the exact models I've used or seen people use to go from zero to consistent cash flow in 30, 90 days. The secret? Focus on solving problems for people who already have money. That's the only way to create revenue quickly. If you stay until the end of this video, not only will you understand these 5 businesses, but I'll also show you how to pick the right one for you, avoid wasting months on shiny objects, and start executing today. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly which business fits your skills, which will generate cash fast, and how to scale it. Whether you want to make a few $100s a month to survive or hundreds of dollars per day to grow, these strategies work. So let's dive in. Before I show you the 4 businesses you can start with zero money, there's one mindset shift almost everyone ignores. And if you miss this, none of these businesses will work for you. Most people fail before they even begin because they have the wrong mindset. If you are broke, the first thing you need to understand is you don't need a business, you need cash flow. Too many people get caught up in what I call business theater. They think, I need a logo, a website, an LLC, a brand identity. That's not where money comes from. Money comes from solving a problem someone already has. Nothing else matters at this stage. There are 3 ways to make money in any economy. Sell a product, sell a service, or sell access to an audience. Let's break this down. Selling a product is out if you're broke. Why? Because products require inventory, manufacturing, shipping, and marketing, all of which cost money. Selling access to an audience is also out if you have no following, because building an audience can take months or years. That leaves services, and services are your golden ticket. Services require no upfront capital, no inventory, and you get paid for your effort immediately. Here's the mindset shift that changes everything. Instead of asking, what business should I start? Ask, what problem can I solve for someone who already has money? That's it. People will pay for results. The more urgent and painful the problem, the more they will pay. And this is why services work so well. Every business, every entrepreneur, every local service provider has problems. Most people ignore them. Most people are too scared to offer solutions. If you can step in and actually solve these problems, money follows naturally. Let me give you a real world example. Imagine a local gym struggling to get new members. They've spent thousands on ads that don't work. You reach out and say, I'll bring you 5 qualified leads this week for $200. They pay you because it's low risk, and they immediately get a result. New members. You didn't need a product, an office, or fancy branding. You simply solved a problem and got paid for it. This mindset applies to every business I'll talk about. It's about results over appearances. Forget what looks good. Forget what others are doing. Focus on delivering a solution. Stop dreaming about building $1 million empire before you even know how to get your first customer. Stop comparing yourself to people who already have resources. Your goal is simple. Get someone to give you money for solving a problem. Once you embrace this mindset, the path becomes clear. You start looking for opportunities, spotting pain points, and thinking like an entrepreneur instead of a consumer. Every time you see a problem, ask yourself, can I solve this? Will someone pay me to solve it? If the answer is yes, congratulations. You're on your way. The final note for this section, being broke isn't a permanent condition. Staying broke is a skill problem. It's about fear, hesitation, and overthinking. When you understand that your first step is to deliver value, not create the perfect business, you've cleared the biggest obstacle. Everything else, scaling, branding, hiring, will come after you prove you can generate revenue. The first business you can start with absolutely no money and no specialized skills is local service arbitrage. This is as simple as it sounds. You act as the middleman between a service provider and a customer. You don't do the work. You don't need expertise. You simply connect a person who has a problem with someone who can solve it, and you get paid for that connection. Let me give you a concrete example. Suppose a local house painter charges $200 per room, but you find a client willing to pay $400 for the work. You coordinate the job, the painter does the work, and you keep the difference. You didn't paint a wall, you didn't buy paint or ladders, you simply created a bridge between supply and demand. That's the essence of this business. It works with almost any local service. Car detailing, lawn mowing, plumbing, window cleaning, moving services, dog walking, the list is endless. The reason it works is simple. People value convenience and results, most people don't want to do the legwork of finding someone reliable. That's where you come in. Most competitors are too lazy, too embarrassed, or too inexperienced to knock on doors, make calls, or send DMs. That's your advantage. Marketing doesn't require a website or paid ads. You can post in local Facebook groups, WhatsApp communities, or on Instagram. You can go door to door. You can send cold messages every time you deliver results, you build credibility, and repeat customers become a source of ongoing cash flow. Over time, you can scale by hiring additional coordinators or managing multiple services simultaneously. What this teaches you is invaluable. You'll learn how to communicate, negotiate, price services, manage clients, and solve problems. All skills that are essential for any entrepreneur. The beauty is death. And this business has immediate cash flow potential. Within a week, you can start making $50, $200 per deal, depending on the service. Within a month, consistent effort can generate $1,000, $3,000, all while building experience and confidence. The lesson here is simple. Don't underestimate middleman businesses. Most people think they need technical skills to start, but connecting supply and demand is a skill in itself. With determination, persistence, and a focus on delivering results, local service arbitrage can be a launching pad for your first profitable business. The second business that a completely broke person can start today is appointment setting and lead generation. This is one of the most underrated ways to generate money quickly because every business, regardless of industry, wants one thing: more clients. And most businesses have no idea how to consistently generate those clients themselves. That's where you step in. You don't need to manufacture a product, invent an app, or have any technical expertise. All you need to do is deliver people who are willing to pay. Here's how it works. First, identify businesses that thrive on leads but struggle to consistently get them. These could be local real estate agents, gyms, health clinics, solar installation companies, or small coaches and consultants. The common denominator is that they have a product or service people want. NT, but don't know how to reach enough prospects. Approach them and say something simple. I can bring you qualified clients or appointments. If I do, will you pay me? That's it. If you can deliver results, businesses will pay, and they usually pay well because new clients are literally revenue in their pocket. Next, you have to generate those appointments or leads. This can be done in multiple ways depending on your confidence level and the client's industry. You can start with direct outreach. Send personalized messages on social media, call prospects, or email businesses. If you're willing to spend a little time learning, you can also run simple low-cost ads to get leads. You don't need thousands of dollars for this. You can start organically using LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, or local community groups. The key is to understand the client's business enough to deliver leads that actually convert into paying customers. If your leads don't result in a client buying something, you won't get paid. That's why consistency and quality are critical. Let's break down an example. Imagine a small real estate agent is trying to sell homes. They might be closing 3 deals per month, each earning $5,000 in commission. You reach out and say, I will book you 10 qualified appointments with buyers this month for $1,000. If 3 of those appointments turn into sales, the agent earns $15, 000. You've charged $1,000 for your work. Everyone wins. Notice how you didn't need a product, inventory, or prior experience. You simply facilitated value that already existed and captured a portion of it. This business also teaches essential skills that compound over time. First, sales skills. You learn how to communicate persuasively and handle objections. Second, marketing understanding. You begin to recognize what messaging resonates with prospects. Third, business acumen. You start understanding how businesses calculate ROI and the value of a client. These skills are transferable to virtually every other business model and even your own future ventures. The beauty of appointment setting and lead generation is its scalability. Once you prove that you can consistently deliver results for one client, you can duplicate your process for multiple clients, you can hire assistants to manage outreach, build a team, and even start an agency around this service. It's one of the rare models where your initial time investment can turn into predictable recurrent revenue, which is exactly what you need when starting from zero. Finally, the mindset is crucial. Most people hesitate because they're afraid to reach out or pitch themselves. Remember this. Businesses are actively looking for solutions. You're not bothering them, you're offering a solution to a problem they are desperate to. O-solve. Approach with confidence, keep your promises, and focus relentlessly on results. Execution is what separates the broke person from the paid professional. To summarize, appointment setting is low risk, low capital, and high reward. It provides immediate income while teaching you skills that are critical for long-term success. Unlike other business models that require waiting for results or creating products, this is a pure value for cash exchange, which makes it perfect for someone who is starting from zero. If you can master this, you'll be amazed at how quickly money can flow into your life, even if you have no prior experience or resources. The third business you can start when you're broke is what I call a skill stacking micro agency. This is where you take a combination of small, often overlooked skills and package them together to deliver massive value to clients. Individually, these skills skills might earn you a few dollars here and there, but when combined into a single service, businesses are willing to pay hundreds or even thousands per month because you save them time, stress, and money. The first step is to identify skills that are in demand. Examples include basic video editing, social media posting, Canva design, copywriting, caption writing, content repurposing, email management, or even light graphic design. Alone, each skill is worth very little, maybe $5. $0 to $100 per client per month. But when you stack them together into a service that delivers results consistently, your perceived value skyrockets. For instance, instead of just I do Instagram posts, you can position yourself as a content growth manager who handles posting, video editing, captions, hashtags, and analytics. Suddenly, your $100 skill set turns into a $500, $1,000 service. The next step is finding clients. Start small. Reach out to creators, coaches, local businesses, and entrepreneurs. Don't overthink marketing at this stage. You can leverage social media DMs, LinkedIn messages, or even cold email. The key is to present a solution to a problem they already have. For example, I help coaches get 20 short clips per month from their existing content, posted and optimized for Instagram and TikTok, so you can focus on your clients instead of social media. This immediately communicates value. You're not selling a vague service, you're solving a specific problem. Pricing is where most beginners fail, so pay close attention. Don't undervalue yourself. If you're delivering multiple services that save a business hours per week, your rate should reflect that. Start at $300, $500 per month for small clients. Once you have a few testimonials, you can increase to $800, $1,000, $500 per month. With just 5 clients, you're now making $2,000, $5,000 per month with no overhead. Is how a skill stacking micro agency turns your small skills into real revenue quickly. Another critical point is execution over perfection. You don't need to be a pro at every skill. You need to deliver results consistently. Learn as you go. Use free tutorials, templates, and tools. Your clients don't care if you're learning. They care that the work gets done and produces results. This approach is very similar to how I talk about leverage. You are creating massive value while still building your capabilities. Document your process, standardize your workflow, and hire freelancers or assistants to handle repetitive tasks. Suddenly, what started as a one-person hustle becomes a small agency capable of handling 10, 20 clients, generating $10,000, $20,000 per month, all without you doing every task personally. This is how skill stacking builds both income and leverage. You're not trading hours for dollars. You're selling a system that produces results. The final point is mindset. Most beginners hesitate because they feel like they don't have enough expertise. Here's the truth. Businesses are desperate for results, not perfection. If you can solve a problem, even if it's simple, and do it consistently, you are more valuable than someone with more skills who can't deliver. Confidence and consistency are worth more than perfection at this stage. Deliver results, communicate clearly, and scale gradually. By combining small skills, delivering tangible results, and leveraging your time, a micro agency provides a practical path from zero to consistent revenue, all while teaching skills that scale for any future business venture. Unlike physical products or high investment businesses, the risk is low, the learning curve is manageable, and the payout is real. If you commit to this model for 90 days, you will have a fully functional business generating cash flow while simultaneously developing skills that will never become obsolete. The fourth and final business strategy for someone who is broke combines high income skills and documenting your journey. This is a model that works for both short-term cash flow and long-term leverage. The underlying principle is simple. Businesses and individuals will always pay for results, and people are naturally drawn to stories of transformation and success. By mastering a high-value skill and sharing your journey publicly, you create both immediate income and a scalable asset that compounds over time. Let's start with high-income skills. These are skills where a client is willing to pay hundreds or thousands of dollars because your work produces direct results, whether that's revenue, time savings, or increased efficiency. Examples include sales closing, copyright, ING, media buying, email marketing, video editing, and lead generation. If you commit to learning one of these skills seriously, you can begin offering your services for real money within 60 to 90 days. The key is to deliver measurable results, even if it means doing initial work for free or discounted rates to build testimonials. Here's how this works in practice. Let's say you choose copywriting. You study templates, practice writing sales emails, and start reaching out to small businesses. Offer to write a single email sequence that you know can improve conversions. When you show proof that your copy results in actual sales, clients will happily pay for more. You've created leverage. One skill leads to multiple clients, each paying for the same type of output, and you can scale by raising prices or taking on bigger projects. Now, let's layer in the second part. Documenting your journey. Most people consume content, but few produce it. If you're starting from nothing, you already have a compelling story. I'm broke. I have no experience. and I'm building a business from scratch. Share your wins, your failures, lessons, and daily progress on platforms like YouTube, TikTok, or Instagram. People connect with authenticity. They follow your journey because they see themselves in your struggles. Over time, this builds trust, authority, and a personal brand. And a personal brand creates options, coaching, partnerships, affiliate deals, or even launching your own products. Combining these two elements is powerful. Your high-income skill earns you immediate cash, while documenting your journey builds long-term leverage. One is transactional, money now. The other is compounding attention, trust, and opportunities later. Let's take a practical example. You learn video editing and start creating content for small businesses. Each client pays $500, $1,000 per month. At the same time, you post your own content about building a micro agency from scratch. Within a few months, your audience grows and brands approach you for sponsorships or collaborations. Suddenly, your skill is paying you and your audience is creating opportunities you didn't have to chase. The beauty of this model is that it doesn't require capital. You don't need an office, employees, or a product. You only need willingness, consistency, and discipline. Every hour you spend learning a skill increases your earning potential. Every piece of content you document compounds in value over time. And because people are naturally drawn to transformation stories, your audience and opportunities grow almost automatically once you start consistently sharing your journey. There's also a critical mindset lesson embedded in this strategy. Money is not the goal, skill and leverage are. If you focus solely on earning money, you'll chase short-term hacks and get stuck in low-value work. But if you focus on building a high-value skill and documenting your journey, the money inevitably follows. This is exactly the approach that separates broke people from people who scale. You're not just trading hours for dollars, you're building an asset, a combination of skill and attention that increases in value over time. Finally, execution is everything. Pick one high-income skill, commit 60 to 90 days to mastering it. Start delivering measurable results to your first clients. Simultaneously, start documenting your journey publicly. Don't worry about perfection. Don't worry about followers at first. Focus on consistency and value. The audience, credibility, and financial rewards will follow. Most importantly, don't get distracted by shiny objects or easier paths. Persistence and execution are your most powerful tools when starting from zero. By the end of this process, you're no longer just a broke person looking for a business idea. You are someone with a marketable skill, a growing audience, and the ability to generate revenue repeatedly. You've created leverage, the ability to scale your income, your influence, and your impact. And the most important part, you've built a foundation that will allow you to continue growing long after this initial stage.